30 seconds and counting. T-
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish, and I'm joined with Drew and E. And today we're going to be giving you a first round recap. Day one is in the books, and it was a very exciting one at that. The Texans ended up with a haul of Stingley Jr., cornerback from LSU, and Kenyon Green trading back from 13 to 15, and he's a guard from Texas A&M, but he's not just a guard. He can play multiple positions on that O-line, as he did. He played left guard, left tackle, right tackle. So very interesting haul, and we're going to go around and give our grades for each player, starting with Stingley Jr. I'll go ahead and start, and so I'll give Stingley Jr. pick a A-. The only reason why I give it an A-, like the minus sign particularly, is because availability is a big issue. But just give the rest of y'all just give your grades, and then we can talk about why we give the grade we did. So
yeah, so I'm gonna go with the B plus for Stingley. I mean, I still love the pick, and he's gonna be a great player in the league. But it was just such a talented draft, you know.
Yeah, I personally gave it an A plus. Like I look back at it now, I would probably give it an A instead of an A plus or even an A minus. But honestly, it's just a pretty good, solid pick, no matter who we took at 3, anyways.
yeah, I think a lot of people, for some reason, are calling Stingley Jr. a reach at 3. But honestly, I don't see it as so. The only reason why I personally gave him the pick at A minus, the minus because of the availability issues. But at his pro day, he seemed to not have lost a step at all. He ran a 4.37 40-yard dash. He had a 38.5-inch vertical leap, 10 foot 2-inch broad jump. So his foot is fine, his ankle is fine. He's fully recovered from his foot injury, ankle injuries. So I feel like that isn't a big issue, and that's probably why many teams. That's why his draft stock boosted so much. And when you think about the potential he has, just based on that freshman season, I believe. Let me see. He had just an amazing freshman season with 6 interceptions, 15 pass breakups, first team All SEC, consensus All American. That's really rare going against top talents in the SEC. So honestly, I am super thrilled about the pick. But what do you guys think about like the reactions to it?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I give it a B plus is just because Stingley was simply not the best player on my board. You know, I would have preferred Kayvon. I think that Sauce is definitely a safer pick. He kind of brings a bigger identity to the Texans. Or even though Stingley's kind of the quiet, silent killer, and Sauce is that confident, aggressive, bold player. And he also hasn't had injury concerns, stuff like that. But it was really close, anyways, for cornerback 1 and cornerback 2. And there's obviously that Sauce Stingley debate that's just always so close. And no doubt in my mind that Stingley does have more potential than Sauce. But I still believe that Kayvon Thibodeau was the best player in the draft. And unfortunately, the Texans passed on him. And I'm not saying that's something that they'll regret, but clearly they wanted to address the cornerback position. Regardless, that's something Lovie Smith and company had talked about a lot. They wanted to upgrade that position so they could, do the things that they wanted to on defense, kind of signaling that they might want like a little scheme change, might run a little cover 3, might run a little more man-to-man coverage, especially if you're going to have a player like Stingley, you can just put on your number 1 receiver, every single game. So that's really exciting to me. Stingley is an amazing athlete. He's got great ball skills. He's got better technique than Sauce Gardner. And he's definitely got more potential. So I'm really excited about the pick.
Yeah, I personally gave it an A plus because, as I said on the Texans podcast we did like a couple of weeks ago, if you didn't watch it, you can go back and watch it if you want. I said, like, as long as we get someone that's got superstar potential, someone that you can just build your defense around, I'm going to be happy with the pick. So if it was Sauce, if it was Thibodeau, if it was Stingley, maybe even Kyle Hamilton, I don't think anyone was going to take him at 3. But as long as we got someone that has that insane potential, you can easily build like your defense around Stingley. He can be the first foundation of the defense. Now you can probably find maybe someone in day two. Maybe we'll talk about that later or another video. But you just got a first piece into the future of the Texans team. So I'm pretty happy with that pick.
Yeah, I actually misspoke. In 2019, he had 21 passes defense, 6 interceptions. He led SEC in that, and he was consensus All American 2019, second team All SEC in 2019. 2020, despite only playing 7 games, he was still first team All American, first team All SEC. So that's pretty remarkable. I think one thing people forget is that the LSU program, after that 2019 season, it kind of was a little bit there was still a lot of like uncertainty going on there. And obviously coupling that with the COVID year and then some ankle injuries, it was kind of hard to have some consistency. But he was rarely targeted in 2020, and you can see why of how much respect he gained from opposing quarterbacks to not even test him. Since 2019, among SEC cornerbacks, he's allowed 39.2% completion rate. That's the lowest out of all eligible cornerbacks. And so, just when you ask about his production skills, the only one there really isn't questions about it, because even in 2021 and playing 3 games, he was playing on a broken foot and he still managed to have 3.5 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble. So he's still so impactful even at a diminished level of Derek Stingley, and now we're getting fully healthy Derek Stingley. And he's arguably the best player of the draft. And for some reason, people thought, oh, he didn't seem very excited to get drafted here. That's such a lie. He just comes across as a humble, cool, calm, collected person. And then he really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun afterwards when he heard his name on the television. So he said, I'm always going to give it 100%. If it's a 50-50 ball, I'm going to go up and get it. And so he said he really loves the vibes here. So I think Derek Sling, just combination of his hip fluidity, his instincts, his closing speed, and even though he might not be the longest, he knows how to manipulate his body to the greatest extent. And so I feel like once he gets in here, he's gonna immediately be one of the top cornerbacks in the league sooner rather than later. I have a really strong belief of that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Stingley, and all of our thoughts on Stingley. I think we're all gonna love him. If you don't love him now, you will love him later. So, but yeah, I think he's gonna be great. And so let's talk about Kenyon Green. Let's talk about first on how the Texans went about going Kenyon Green. We did have Kyle Hamilton available at 13, but we did decide to take the chance, go down 15, but the value was too good to pass up. Do you guys want to talk about that trade?
Yeah, so like you said, it was really just too hard to pass up on it in general. So we got 1/4, and we got 2 5th-round picks from the Eagles, and meaning that now the Texans have 11 picks left. They had 13 picks in total, which is an insane amount of picks. But I don't expect the Texans to keep it at that number, and the Casario could trade up again, could trade down again multiple times, and that's exactly what I expect him to do. So, in my opinion, whoever we were going to take at pick 15 was going to be a dub just because of what we got from that trade.
Yeah, I think they were going to go with Jameson Williams actually at 13. And then Detroit probably knew that. That's why they traded up to 12 to take the Jameson Williams. So I think that's also what triggered the trade to happen, is that they probably felt like they could have gotten Kenyon Green at 15 anyways, so might as well get some more cap to use it in day two to trade up and move more in the second round, because you only have 1 pick in the second. So I feel like we're going to end up picking 2 more times in the second at least.
Yeah, Nick Casario in the post day 1 press conference, he said he didn't lose out on any players. I don't know. I mean, sure, there's a lot of players he was probably looking at, so that's probably why he decided to take a risk. And the Ravens, they decided to go best player available because the Jordan Davis was taken by the Eagles, and so that's probably why they went best player available. I don't know if the Texans were expecting the Ravens to go with Kyle Hamilton, considering they already have a really good secondary. But adding Kyle Hamilton really just makes it even more deadly. So that's good for them. But enough about Kyle Hamilton. We're not here to talk about Kyle Hamilton. We're here to talk about Kenyon Green. And the more I read about him, the more and more I fall in love with the guy. He's just gonna immediately improve our offensive line. There's no question about that. And the versatility he brings. I think you just have a flat out competition. Nick Casario loves competition, flat out competition for all the inside O line. See who comes out on top. I would say it ends up being Laramie Tunsil left tackle, Kenyon Green left guard, Justin Britt center, and then AJ Can probably right guard, and then Titus Howard right tackle. I think that's really really good. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but Kenyon Green, he has an 83-inch wingspan. That's insane. I don't know how. Like, there is apparently a rumor that the Texans had, or not a rumor. Like Nick Casario said, there's a trade available to go back from 15 to 20. But honestly, with a guy with that kind of traits and that kind of footwork and just all around potential, I don't know if he would have been available at 20. To be honest with you. So I think I'm really starting to love Kenyon Green. There's a reason why Spiller is talked as highly as he has, is because of Kenyon Green opening lanes for him. His second wave push is one of the best in the draft, I would say. So I would give the Kenyon Green pick uh, an A, honestly, an A plus maybe, but I would give it an A. Because it is, I seriously thought inside O line was a huge position of need. At 3, I wouldn't have minded it, but at 15, it makes a lot more sense. So I really love the pick too, Kenyon Green, very underrated player.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm gonna give this pick. First of all, I'm gonna give it a B. Personally, I do believe that Zion Johnson, the guard from Boston College, was a better player. He's also an interior offensive lineman. But it looks like the reason why we didn't trade back to 20 is because it looks like the Chargers were probably going to take Kenyon Green at 17, which is, just kind of shows you that Kenyon Green was kind of the consensus best, interior offensive lineman. Texans could have also gone Linderbaum, Jermaine Johnson, Traylon Burks, but they can obviously address edge and wide receiver today in the draft. So it's always something to look out for. But yeah, Kenyon Green, like you say, is very, very versatile. I think he's a plug and play. You can just start him right away. It also allows Titus Howard to most likely stick at right tackle, which is really, really exciting because the Tunsil Titus duo at left tackle and right tackle is a lot better than the Tunsil and Titus duo at left tackle and left guard. Titus is a fantastic right tackle. Kenyon Green is a fantastic run blocker. He gets in your pad level. He can take you to the second level. He's got insanely quick feet. He's got his punch a little bit, but those quick feet can just really, really help him drive those players off, and he can definitely pass protect in circumstances. But placing an emphasis on the run was something the Texans really wanted to address in the draft, and Kenyon Green is a great start to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, finally we get to see Titus right tackle. Like, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm gonna knock on wood. But hopefully we get to see him at right tackle for the rest of his career at this point, because it's just our left side with Tunsil and Kenyon Green is pretty much locked up. Like, it's gonna be a very, very strong left side. Now you just need a good right guard with Titus, and your O line should be good for the next, I don't know, 3-4 years at least, if we're talking like just in general. So it's a very good pick. I gave it an A personally, just because, again, we missed out on Kyle Hamilton. But we're not here to talk about Kyle Hamilton. We're here to talk about Kenyon Green. So, yeah, and I like what his dad said. He was like, Houston fed, Houston bred, or Texas fed. I'm not sure. But it's just like, he's staying home. He's doing what he has to do. And it's clear that the front office just likes the guys that are going to come in, do their job, do it well, and then just go back home,
Yeah, and I think Kenyon Green's quotes, it really emphasizes what kind of players Nick Casario is looking for. He said, "We're rebuilding, and it's time to put the right guys out there, the ones who want to go out there and fight. I'm a dog. I'm ready to grind. I'm a humble guy. I stay to my business and work." And I think an interesting fact is that this is the first like Houston native that the Texans drafted in the first round. So that's pretty cool that we got like a more of a hometown kid. But yeah, he understands what his role is, and he said it's a blessing to stay in Houston. I'm ready to work, put my head down, and grind. And Nick Casario, that's the, like the possibility of missing out on Kenyon Green by moving back to 20. He wasn't willing to risk that, and he said Nick Casario had raving reviews on Green. He said he's a productive player, consistent player, probably more of an inside player. So that just helps relieve all the concerns that Titus is going to be at guard. He said he's a real solid kid, blue collar lunch pail, just kind of works his ass off and wants to play football. That fits the profile of kind of what we want. So Kenyon Green, he's going to be absolutely amazing. He was always available. He's a very durable guy. He never missed a game. And so he's done a great job at Texas A&M. So I'm really excited to see what's in store for these two prospects. Very solid potential guys. So but yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on Nick Casario's first round haul and Derek Stingley and Kenyon Green. I also forgot to mention how it's interesting how Lovie Smith said, "Oh, we need to adjust the cornerback position to do what we want to do on defense," and they went ahead and did that with Derek Stingley. And then Pep Hamilton said, "We need to focus on the O-line. They're very underrated." And they went ahead and got Kenyon Green. So it's interesting to see how Nick Casario is not willing to, he's willing to address the needs that we had the most. Like we allowed the most yards, our cornerbacks allowed the most yards in the NFL. Our rushing game was dead last in the league. And so you address both of those areas of weakness with both of these players. So the Texans got better after day one and can't wait to see what they do on day two. So yeah, thank y'all for watching and be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Peace.